know I got a lot of new subscribers to this channel, and I figured I'd take the opportunity to introduce myself again. If you're wondering what this is here, this is how I get hot water while I'm washing dishes. I don't have a water heating system in my van, so I heat it up in this pot, and I get my hot water this way, so I can wash the dishes in that. But anyway, I figured I'd reintroduce myself, all the new subscribers there, so you know who I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm going. So my name is Wolf, and I got into van life a few years ago. It started probably back around 2018 or so. I mean, I've always loved camping since I was a little kid. I always loved camping. Much to the dismay of my parents, who didn't really care that much for camping. but I've always loved camping. I always loved being outdoors. And it just seemed like the perfect thing there. Back around 2018 or so, I really started wanting to get on to more camping adventures and didn't have anybody who wanted to go with me, so I started going on my own. I saw some stuff on Project of VanLife, which got me really interested in it, but at the time I didn't have the budget to really get a van or anything like that, but I did own a 2002 Mercury Mountaineer named the Wolfineer, and that's how I started my adventures. I started converting that out instead of buying a van. So I actually had a pretty neat setup, really. It was on some of my earlier YouTube videos. If you want to go back and see them, I'll throw some pictures, some clips of it, what I did with it. But I actually ended up removing the back seat. I had also removed the third row seat, the fold-down one. That had long since been removed and replaced with plywood. And I added in, I took out the back seat too. And I put in a bed and a whole setup in there so I could sleep in the back of the SUV and go on my camping adventures, and still had to be outside to cook and everything. But it worked out pretty well. It was a nice setup. Had some cargo boxes off the, had one of those racks on the rear trailer hitch there, and had some cargo boxes on that for extra storage capacity, because space was a premium in there. And of course I built the water tank on the roof. And that was one of the best things I did. That held 9 gallons of water in it, park it in the sun there to heat the water up in it. I'd actually have warm water in the evening to wash dishes with and clean up with and things like that. So it was a perfect little setup. But the Mountaineer unfortunately started getting old and really showing its age, and I still have it. It's barely holding together now. Doesn't do trips anymore. But 2 years ago, I started saving up some money to purchase a van. Didn't have a lot of money still. We'll go talk about that in a couple of minutes. Why I never have a lot of money. We'll get onto that. But friend knew I was looking for a van, and he had one that he was going to be selling. This one. And he was buying a new one. He was going to trade it in at Ford. So he told me that he'll sell me the van for whatever Ford quotes to give him for a trade-in, which was only $1,000. I couldn't pass this van up. Yes, it's high mileage. At the time I bought it, it had 216,000 miles on it. It's a 2006, so it's a little old. Not almost as old as my Mountaineer, but still running a lot better, despite its high mileage. But these old Ford Econolines, they're practically bulletproof. The engines will just go on for a long, long time. Especially if they're cared for properly. And this van was definitely cared for properly. So I did bring it down to my mechanic before I bought it, and he gave me the thumbs up on it. Fixed a couple little issues, but nothing major. And yeah, this has been my adventure vehicle. I've got it set up inside. It's no ways near finished, but I've been slowly working on that while using it. So I've been having a blast with this van, and I can take it out in the winter months because I've got insulation in there, I've got heating in there, I've got the room to be able to prep food inside of it, so I've been able to cook my meals inside the van. And yes, I do have two carbon monoxide detectors, so anybody who's worried about that, I do have that, plus a smoke detector in there. So I'm covered for safety. I will eventually be adding a roof vent, hopefully by next camping season. But yeah, it's been a great addition. It allows me to get out to a place like this here. This is a dispersed campsite up in the White Mountain National Forest in Maine. And I'm at the end of a dead-end road, and I've got the place all to myself. There's nobody for miles around here. It's great. So I've seen one vehicle come up here and check out the site here to see if somebody was see if it was occupied, I should say. Easy enough for me to say, but they just turned around and left again when they saw I was here. So that's it. That's the only people I've seen all day today. I do know the campsite a few miles down the road that way is occupied. It wasn't when I first came in, but that's it. So I do have some people closer to me now than I did yesterday. Thankfully they're down there, not up here, because they are running a generator, and I absolutely hate generators. The financing side of things. As I commented, I'm usually broke. There's a reason for that. I'm a self-employed computer tech, but I've devoted more of my time to being outdoors than to working. That's basically the status of it. I'm self-employed, so I can set my own schedule. So when I want to go camping, I can. I go camping about, well, probably about once a week or so. I usually come home for about a week, and then I take off for a few days, and come home for a whole week, take off for a few days, come home for a whole week. My home base is just north of Boston in Massachusetts. And that's where I do all my work out of, and unfortunately that's where my work is, and I need work to survive. I've unfortunately gotten myself into a little bit of debt over the years, and still paying for that. But it's the way it is. I do someday plan to live full-time in a van like this one, maybe one that I can stand up in, I don't know, but right now it's definitely just part-time van life for me. And yeah, that's just the way it is for me. I've chosen this life. I've chosen the life to be a little bit have less funds than that, so I can get out on more of these trips. I love these adventures, and places like this one here. All this cost me was gas. So I'm going to be getting into more of this stuff as I go along too here, trying to find more places. Unfortunately, in New England, there isn't a lot of places you can go to that's free like this, and there's a whole lot less places you can go to in the wintertime. But you know what? It is what it is. But eventually, I'm going to be full-time in a van driving around the country. But that's going to be years from now. So I'm still working, still got the job. Haven't found a job that pays me to work remotely all the time. So still working on that. Still have a lot of stuff I got to get rid of. But yeah, that's the status. So a little bit more personal information about me. I'm highly introverted, which means I do much better when I'm out on these solo adventures by myself here. I'm around other people, the quality of my videos definitely isn't as good. I don't talk as much, things like that. So you notice that I've taken a lot of trips with my brother this year and haven't done a lot of stuff on camera when I'm with him. I don't do as good a quality videos when I'm around other people. Because again, I'm highly introverted, and I also have a touch of social anxiety. So I have troubles working around people, things like that. I've gotten over a lot of it over the years, between becoming a ham radio operator and this YouTube channel. Both of those things have helped considerably. I do still have a lot of problems talking in front of the camera. I do say often. And I also oftentimes awkwardly laugh at my own jokes, which I'd love to stop doing, but I haven't been able to. So when I'm on camera there, it's just who I am, it's what I do. So you have to forgive me for that when I do that. But I've gotten over a lot of it. It's allowed me to run my own business, because I do have to deal with people all the time on that. I have to be able to answer the phone when people call, things like that. And so I do okay with it now, but I still have troubles, like if I have to, like say I need to call a restaurant and make reservations. For some weird reason, I have a really hard time with that. It's strange. I don't understand it, but it is the way it is. And of course, I was also one of the ones that got constantly bullied when I was going up through like grade school and things like that. So that's probably imprinted on some of who I am now. So I don't know, it's just who I am. But I'm happy out on my own like this, being out in the woods with nobody else around. Something like this is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. Yes, it would be nice if there's a little bit more stuff to do, like hiking trails and things like that around here, but It's not too bad. This trip is exactly what I wanted, though, because the last couple trips have been super busy doing stuff. I wanted a trip where I could relax a bit, and that's exactly what this trip is. I got the fire pit over there, I got the van here, and I'm just relaxing. So, anyway, that's enough about me for today. We're going to get on to some other stuff here. We got to get this van all cleaned up tonight, so we'll be doing that. We'll be starting dinner soon. Things like that, but glad you guys were watching, and hope more of you subscribe. And now that you know a little more about who I am, maybe some of these videos will make more sense to you too. So the road that comes up to where my campsite is, which is basically a dead end, looks like it used to go on that way for some distance. So I am going to go and try to see if I can figure out where it went. If it went any place. It may just dead end up here someplace. It may get too overgrown for me to follow it. But I'm just kind of curious. If I follow this trail a little bit, where might it take me? So, let's see if we can get into a spot where I can follow it any. It's pretty overgrown in places over here, but... and a little washed out too. You know, we got this little bit of a washed out area here, probably from all the heavy rains earlier this year. But it looks like we can just cross right over here. I'm just gonna figure my way over this log. Alright, made it over the log. And it looks like it used to be just a regular 2-track road here. And cars haven't driven up this road in a long time, but it looks like they certainly used to. So I'm just going to follow it a short distance. Probably going to get too overgrown too quickly, and I'm going to end up turning around, but I'm just curious. Oh, I should have covered myself with insect repellent before I did this. Yeah, too overgrown too quickly, like I said. I'm not going to get in very far here. Curious as to where it goes, because it looks like there's some foot traffic that goes up and down this way here, so other people walk this way, but I'm not going through that. I don't need any ticks. Ah, too bad. Oh well. I'm very curious as to where this road goes. I mean, they must make roads for a reason to go someplace, right? Curious as to where it goes, but it's too overgrown up there. I'm not equipped to hike through there right now. I don't want to bring home any ticks or any other insects. I don't want Lyme disease, any of that stuff, so oh well. It would have been interesting to find out where this went. It truly is amazing how much of a mess I can make in the van in just a couple days' time. We have to have this all set for travel for tomorrow. As next, I don't know, 24 hours or so, I'm going to be basically inside the van. Because tomorrow morning, I'm taking off from here, and I'm heading over to Cabela's in Hudson, Mass. again, like I did last year, because I get the same Hamfest to go to again like I did last year. Northeast Ham Exposition up in Marlboro. So I got to be able to operate inside the van. All the food cooking and everything else has to take place inside the next 24 hours. So, in fact, breakfast over here at this campground is probably going to take place in the van too. So I put all the tables and that away already, because they're saying it's going to rain overnight, and I never put the canopy up. So instead of putting soggy stuff away and having to pack the van up in the rain tomorrow, I put as much of it away as I could, or at least back into the van. So everything's inside the van from this point forward. The only thing I have outside is the antenna for my radio. Well, the water tank is outside too, but that's coming in the van too before I'm done here. I just didn't have room for it at the moment, so that's it. So everything's inside now, so I got to clear this counter off here so I can actually make breakfast in the morning and everything, and minimize the amount of work I have to do before I leave tomorrow. So there we go, a little bit cleaner. And move the sign still. Go over here somewhere, I suppose. There we go. There we got the stove accessible, and the sort of sink there. I'll be able to make breakfast in the morning. Got this area neatened up a bit too. Front of the van, still got to put those few things away here, but we're getting there. Just attached my auxiliary light here. I want to show you some changes I've done to the front of the van here too. Still all temporary stuff. I haven't built the permanent stuff, but I picked up these moving blankets from Harbor Freight here. This one here and this one. There's a third one here I can put over the middle when I need privacy. They're almost totally light blocking. People can't tell the lights are on in the van here, so they're perfect. You'll see them in full use at Cabela's parking lot tomorrow. And I made some changes to how the fridge is configured too. Now the tablet isn't part of the fridge. Just put it there to get it out of the way. I built this new back here. No, it's not super strong or anything. It's just a temporary design. But I can store my firewood and other stuff behind that. I can see just fine while I'm driving. It may not look quite like it, but I can see just fine while I'm driving. Keeps the fridge nice and open now. Easy to open it up, get at it. And yeah, I think it's going to work out nicely. Gotta figure a better way of storing my shoes. But we're getting there. It's a big improvement over the setup. So that's pretty much everything here tonight. Been a fun day here. Kind of a relaxing day, which is good. I needed that. Now we're just gonna settle in and get ready for bed here. And we'll pick up the adventure again in the morning. Tomorrow, next video that you'll see here will be the moving day video. So as we move to Cabela's. So hopefully we'll see some interesting stuff along the drive out there. Hoping to find a good spot to stop for lunch on the way too. I haven't quite decided what route I'm going to take to get to Cabela's, but right now I'm leaning towards going down through Maine, Route 26 all the way back to 95, and just taking 95 to 495 and getting there the quickest way. So anyway, so we're going to end this video. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. And if I didn't do a lot of exciting stuff, cleaning the van, washing dishes, such excitement. Anyway, remember, slow down and enjoy life. And I'll talk to you guys later.